guys, welcome back to my channel. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I can't believe we're in 2026 already. I hope you all had a really nice Christmas and a nice New Year as well. I feel like the time's gone so quickly because I've been off for almost 2 weeks off work, which has been chef's kiss. It's Sunday the 4th of January today, so I'm going back to work tomorrow. So I wanted to make this YouTube for some motivation for me to do a bit of a reset of a few different things. I've just tidied my room. I'll insert some clips of me doing a quick reset in my bedroom for the last hour or so. And then what I thought we could do is go through some of my 2026, I don't know if to call them goals, motivation, what I'm manifesting, I don't really know. I've put together a list which we'll run through together because I think that would just be a good idea. So as you can see behind me, probably, my room is a bit of a hot mess right now. So we're going to do a bit of a reset. I need to put away my clothes, I need to clean my dressing table, there's lots of stuff on there, make my bed and just make this room feel a little bit more vibey for going back to work tomorrow. Before we get into goals, manifesting, all this stuff, you might have noticed I'm wearing a lovely little fleece. So this was a Christmas present from Rob, which I love because it's from the 15th anniversary of Tangled, which if you know me, you know I am a Disney girl. And Tangled is one of my all-time favourite films ever, not just in Disney, ever. And this was seriously limited edition. It came on the Disney website when it got announced and I sent the link to Robin and I said, I'd really like it if Santa were able to buy this for me. And he managed to get it, which I'm very happy about because I've seen people trying to sell this on Vinted for £250. It was 60 quid, babe. Why are we putting it on Vinted for £250? That's a joke. So yeah, really glad I've got Rapunzel's tower down there, which is really cute. And we've got the lanterns here, we've got Pascal. You can see that, Pascal. And I've got the flower on the sleeve and it's the same on the back. But this is so warm and cosy. I've realised in every single YouTube video, I'm wearing this top. That's not intentional. I just wear this top a lot. So I was wearing this top, and you'll have seen I put this on when I was tidying because this house is f***ing cold. Maybe I'll have to edit that out. Whoops. This house, because it's a Victorian semi-detached cottage, we don't have someone on the other side of us, on this side. So the house is just a little bit more cold. And also it's an old house. The insulation isn't that great. The windows are fine. They're a bit drafty. But yeah, in other news, I thought we'd just have a bit of a catch up before we kind of get into the big stuff. You might have seen I'm now wearing a lovely microphone, which is very exciting. I asked for a lot of accessories for my camera for Christmas because I wanted to make the most of making content, and I feel like particularly when I'm outside, having a microphone on is really going to help the content, because I feel like, number one, it's easy to isolate my voice, but also to stop any kind of copyright or anything like that where I'm out in shops or, you know, out and about filming. So I thought that would just be really good. So I've actually got 2 of these. I got 2 separate Christmas presents of these microphones, which is actually great. I was thinking maybe I'll return one, but actually Rob made a good point that we'll both be able to make content, or if we're out together or we're doing some filming or something, we'll both be able to hear each other. If I've got a microphone on, you might not be able to hear him, so we could do 2 at the same time, which is a good idea. So I've got 2 of these. I also got the little mini tripod, which is made by DJI. DJI, is that what it's called? Yeah, DJI. And also the battery handle, which actually I fear is going to come in very handy, because the battery on this camera, if you haven't seen any reviews, is not that great. So that actually you can basically have a whole full battery as well, and it charges your camera, so you don't have to have it attached all the time, which again will be really great when I'm out and about. Don't have to worry too much about the battery dying. I'll just have that as a backup. I got a little wide angle lens. I don't have it on at the moment because I didn't want to seem too weird looking in the camera. And what else did I get? Is that Wallace? Was that him barking? Wallace is barking downstairs. He never barks in the house because Rob got up and left him to go and do a job. So yes, I'll try and be quick with this then, because I think my dog is having separation anxiety. Also, before we move on, I have had a bit of a refresh on my hair. So I had 2 inches off on Tuesday, and some nice new long layers, and also she's done my kind of face framing and bits again, so I'm really happy with that. And then this morning Rob dyed my hair, so you can see, yeah, I don't have any roots anymore, which I'm really happy with. And this is the dye that I used. I thought I'd show you, which is the L'Oreal Excellence Cream number 6 natural light brown. So just going for I liked when it was a bit lighter, but because my roots grow in, and then I have I was using semi-permanent dye before. This is a permanent dye, so please do a strand test before. I don't want anyone having any accidents because of me. Because my old one, which was a bit more red, was semi-permanent, the ends used to rinse out really easily and then go kind of orangey coppery, and then I'd have quite dark roots. So I'm trying to do a bit more natural, but just want it to be kind of more uniform. I think it looks nice as well, but you can hopefully see a bit more of the colour. Maybe I'll try and show you in daylight, even though it's just gone dark outside, so I probably won't be able to do that today, but in another video I'll show you a bit more about the hair. So yeah, my hair's just feeling very soft and a bit more healthy, which I'm excited about, because my hair was feeling a little bit dry, but I've got a good hairdresser kind of locally, and she's just lovely, and I said to her, I just don't know what I want to do with it. So we've kept it this kind of same-ish length, chopped a bit off the length, because I wasn't sure whether to go kind of not short, but you know, a little bit shorter, a couple more inches. But we decided just for this time, just refresh it, see how I feel, and I do like it, so I think I'm going to keep it like this as well. And then one more thing before we get into this whole 2026 goals, I wanted to just look at my bedding, because I love my bedding, and some people may say there's too many pillows. I'm not one of those people. I am more pillows the better. Rob does not understand. He doesn't understand why you would have so many pillows on your bed when you don't sleep with them, but it's just an aesthetic. It's just the vibe. So I got this new bolster cushion from Oliver Bonus in the sale. I've wanted this forever. I wanted it when it was full price, and then it went in the sale and I just had to buy it. So the cushion cover was half price, but the cushion inside is sold separately, which wasn't on sale, but it was still cheaper than buying it full price. So I was really excited about that. And they do different covers kind of yearly. They've had a couple that I've wanted. So I'm thinking, I've got the cushion now, I can always buy another cover for it if I want to. And I found this quilt in TK Maxx a couple of weeks ago, which I've wanted a quilt for ages, and I kindly got made a quilt by my mum, thank you mum, for Christmas, which is green and red. So I'll have that on during Christmas, but whilst we're not in Christmas, I've put this one on, and it's like a green floral quilt. This was £40 from TK Maxx, and I thought that wasn't bad for a king size quilt, so I'm really happy with that. I think it kind of goes with everything and kind of matches the wallpaper almost. I don't know if you can even see the wallpaper on the camera, but that's kind of green and pink. Green and pink's kind of my thing, and yeah, I just thought that looked really nice and, you know, cottage corey and very cute. But I thought I'd let you know where that's from in case you were wondering, because I would be wondering too. Okay, let's buckle in for the next few mins while we kind of chat through about goals, motivations, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to reach my phone out. I'll put it up here or here so you can also see, and we'll go through kind of one by one. So yeah, as I said, I don't know if these are goals, motivation, or just things that I want to live by or have in the forefront of my mind for 2026. For those of you that don't know, 2025 was quite difficult for me. My dad passed away very unexpectedly at the end of March, which was really difficult. It hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. I mean, you don't know how it's going to hit you until, you know, one of your parents passes away, but or someone close to you passes away, full stop, I guess. But 2025 was a really difficult year for me, and all I can say is thank you to everyone who, you know, has sent me love, even strangers on TikTok when I made a TikTok about it, you know, saying they keep me in their prayers and stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's crazy. So just want to say a big thank you to anyone who, number one, watches these videos, because I literally make these videos to have something to do. That's how I started them, just because I wanted to, I like making content, I like creating content, and I love watching YouTube, so I just thought, let's just buy the bloody camera, I want to do it, and it's actually been something that I've really enjoyed doing, so thank you. But I mean, I'm in that phase of, I'm not the type of person that's like, I'm going to rebrand myself, because I think I'm pretty good as I am. There's definitely some room for improvement in certain areas, which I suppose my goals are tailored to, but in terms of the core, I don't think I need to change that much, but I'm really hoping that 2026 is going to be an inspirational year for me, because I've had that kind of difficult year in 2025, and obviously my friends, my family, and Rob have been like the biggest. Rob's been the biggest rock, obviously, in last year. So yeah, just really hoping that this year is going to be a little bit better than that. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've got a lot in the diary, and things to do, some things I can film, which is really exciting, as well. So yeah, okay, let's crack on. Right, 2026 goals. The first one I've put is be nicer to yourself, or nicer to myself. And I think that kind of ties into what I was just saying around, you know, give myself a bit more grace. I've had a tough time, but also 2026 is the year of, you know, self-esteem, self-confidence. Actually, you know, I'm not a terrible looking person, and you know, I've got a good job, you know, stuff like that. I can just be nice to myself. And I was listening to Nick Jonas's new song. If you don't know, I am the biggest Nick Jonas fan in the entire world. I'm going to insert a picture, if I can find it, of me meeting Nick Jonas on my 18th birthday whilst he was on Loose Women. And Catherine, if you're watching this, I love you so much for getting us those tickets. I think about that every day, that Nick Jonas touched my hand and I cried on live TV. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Nick Jonas's new song, Gut Punch, I really it really resonated with me. I listened to it this morning. It came out a couple of days ago, and it's all about being nice to yourself, giving yourself a bit more grace, and, you know, not talking badly to yourself. You wouldn't talk to your friend that way. Why would you talk to yourself that way, kind of thing. So anyway, that really resonated with me. So I've definitely put be nice to myself on the list. Second on the list, I put be meaner. Be meaner when needed. I feel like I sometimes let things slide, whether that be at work, whether that be in my personal life. I think I can be a bit more mean sometimes. Obviously when it's justified, I'm not going to go around being being mean to people who don't deserve it, but we're not letting people walk over us in 2026, girls. We're not doing it. And guys, whoever, YouTube subscribers, YouTube watchers, we can be a bit meaner, okay? I think I'm going to grow a backbone a little bit. I'm not going to let people walk over me, and I have some people in mind. Number 3 is make more content. I kind of touched on this a minute ago about how much I really enjoy making content. Earlier last year, around when my dad passed, I started doing a TikTok series around getting my spark back, and that's also in my TikTok bio. TikTok, is it a bio? Whatever, description. And the first video got like 10,000 views, which I was really surprised about. Like, I was making TikToks in my pajamas with no makeup on. I really did not expect that to go viral, if that's viral, or to get, you know, any type of views. I was just doing it because I was off sick / on bereavement leave, and wanted to do something, and I actually really enjoyed the process. So I'm excited to make more TikToks, and obviously YouTube's encompassed in that. Leading into the next goal, which is make 10 YouTube videos this year, which I think is actually doable. I don't know. I feel like the 4 videos that I have so far, I didn't know what to put in them, I guess. So I'm thinking about making sure, well, that's less than 1 a month. And I got my camera in the end of October, and I've made 4 videos. So I think that kind of checks out. And I'm doing that as a goal of, I just want to make YouTube videos. I didn't want to put a goal in there of, I want X amount of subscribers. I've put something like that in my vision board on Canva that I've made, and I'm using Pinterest. But I don't think that's appropriate to share here because there's things in there that I don't want to share on the internet. But I wanted to just put in there to have a goal of how many YouTube videos I want to make. Because, like I said, I really enjoy making this content. I really enjoy YouTube as a platform, as a watcher, and also as a creator, I guess now. That's just something I really enjoy. So I wanted to put a goal in there specifically for something to, you know, put in there. I've got a lot going on, as I said, in my calendar over the next year in terms of events and days out and stuff. So I think there's a lot of things that I can video and put on here for you guys, which is really exciting. Okay, moving on. What is next? I've got be in more photos. I think this is a big one for me because I take a lot of pictures, I take a lot of videos, but I'm not in a lot, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm photogenic, and I haven't pretty much my whole life. So I'm like, gosh, guys, I'm literally using this as a therapy session. Sorry, you can scroll past. Just don't watch this video if you don't want to hear me rant. But I want to be in more pictures because I love taking photos. I love having photos on my phone. But when I look back, I want to be in those videos as well and the pictures as well. So that's a goal of mine, to be in more pictures. And, you know, again, I suppose that ties into be nice to myself, that self-confidence as well. So, yeah. A big one for me this year is more movement. I haven't been to the gym for like a year or so, I'd say. Obviously having Wallace and getting him at the end of May was really good for me getting out and about, walking and going to the park and all that kind of stuff, and having a reason to get outside. But in terms of movement, I would like to get back into the gym. I used to love running. I don't know why, I just really can't get on with it anymore. I hate running. The idea of going for a run actually makes me want to be sick. So I don't really want to run. I don't want to set any goals of like, I'm going to run this and I'm going to run that. in 2019 I ran the Run Disney 36k challenge, which was really fun. I don't think they do it anymore, because I might be persuaded if Disney wants to put that back on, so anyone watching. But yeah, running isn't for me. It's not something that I find myself passionate about. I like going to the gym and having that kind of regular, scheduled time, place thing to do. I've tried YouTube workouts. I've done some of them, but I haven't been consistent. So yeah, more movement is definitely one. More days out, and I've put in brackets National Trust, RHS. We have an RHS membership, and our local is RHS Wisley, which you would have seen if you watched my very merry festive vlog at the end of last year. But I think just more days out, I feel like, and I suppose it's difficult because we bought our house at the end of 2024 and we've done a lot to our garden, for example. We're redoing the kitchen floor, separate video to come on that. But I want to get out more, and obviously that then comes into more content, for example. So more days out, National Trust. I really, really, really want to go to Stourhead and to Prior Park. I don't know if Prior Park, I don't know if they're both National Trust, but they are kind of like filming locations for Pride and Prejudice, Bridgerton, and just gorgeous gardens. You know, that's right up my street. Pretty dress, get a picnic, sit in the sun. And also just really nice places to be and nice places to visit. So more days out. I've also got some other bits planned. I've got, I'm going to the Pixar Mundo Pixar exhibition in February, 2 weeks after it opens. So I'm really excited about that. That'll be good. The next one, I've done more days out. Eat healthier. And this is one that I've kind of struggled with for a while. I'm going to put a limit on takeaways specifically because I think I have a tendency to order food. I do have a tendency to order food because I can't bother to go out. So I'm going to couple this with more movement so that I eat healthier. I haven't put on here that I want to lose a certain amount of weight or anything like that, because I wouldn't want to showcase that to the world. Also, it's just not helpful. I think that kind of not putting a certain pressure on myself by saying I want to lose this amount of weight, or I want to do this, this, this and this, or I want to look like this, for example, I don't think that's very helpful. Yeah, so eat healthier, that is a big one for me next year. I put read 10 books. Now that doesn't sound like a lot. Does not sound like a lot to anyone, I'm sure. And I haven't put this on here, but another one for me is less screen time. So I have a tendency to doom scroll before bed when I wake up and, you know, just throughout the day. So I have put a app limits on my phone, so I can only use TikTok for 1 hour, and the same for Instagram per day. I also have focus time on my phone, so during the hours of 10 and 4, I think it is, I've put it on there. I can't access TikTok and Instagram without going through a second layer of security, I guess, which has helped in terms of just making sure I'm being proactive, particularly as those are working hours most days, and I'm not just doom scrolling. Also, I think when I scroll for a lot of time and I have a lot of exposure to it, I do a lot of comparisons in terms of my life and what I look like versus other people on the internet. The internet's not real. The internet is a highlight reel of most people's lives. So yeah, I'm just going to read 10 books. I want to read before bed in place of me scrolling. So I put read 10 books there because that's again, less than one a month. I'm not pressuring myself to go over and above. I read one book last year, and that was when I was on holiday in Turkey and I sat on a sun lounger for a week. So yeah, I want to read 10 books. I've put enjoy our garden this summer, barbecues and games nights and things. Rob and his dad have done a lot of work in our garden. I'll try and insert some pictures of what it looked like before and what it looks like now. And it has come a long way. I have done a big order from Farmer Gracie on a couple of tubers and perennials and stuff like that to come in February. So hoping that it will be, you know, lots of different plants. Obviously, if you've seen my TikTok, you'll know that I planted 400 tulips in my garden this autumn. So I'll keep you updated on what that looks like, but I just want to spend a lot more time outdoors, not inside, and hosting barbecue nights and games nights. And then the final one I put on here that's kind of like a solid goal, or I suppose manifestation, is embrace the cringe and the chaos. One of my sisters sent me a really great TikTok. I can't remember who it was by. Maybe she'll comment it below, about embracing the cringe and how cringe isn't actually a thing. No one cares. And if you think it's cringe, you're the problem. Okay, you're the problem. I shouldn't care if you think I'm cringe. It's not my business. It's really not my business. So embracing the cringe, doing what I like, and embracing the chaos as well. And that, you know, things fall into place. I don't need to worry. I still have time. I don't need to be exactly where I want to be right now. And that's what this whole year is about. So yeah, that one I just added in the bottom there because I thought it's just really nice, and I suppose kind of sums up quite a lot of the things that I've put in there. I feel like in the last couple of months I've probably re-embraced my Disney side. I think that went away for a couple of years, and I'm really excited to kind of make more kind of Disney content if that's something that you guys want to see. I might have already some plans for you of potential trips, who knows, and keep you guys involved in, you know, my Disney side as well. And if that's not something you're interested in, skip those videos, but if it is, you are welcome, and you will be seeing a lot of that content, I'm sure. So there we go, there's our goals, and I think that is a good start to 2026. Maybe if you have something similar, pop it down in the comments. Let me know what your biggest goal is for the year, and let's keep each other accountable, and keep each other, maybe we'll do a check-in in June or something so we can see how we're all getting on. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I can't believe that I already have 40 subscribers. That probably doesn't seem like a lot to anyone, but if you think about it, 40 people in a room, in this room particularly, would be quite a lot. So thank you so much if you've watched this video. If this is the first video you've watched of mine, please like, subscribe, comment, and I mean, I can't wait to continue making these videos for you. I love how much everyone is engaging and liking and commenting on my videos, so hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.